You're still watching Real Time right on GBC News, your news and governance channel. The Ghana Police Service signaled its intention a few months ago to start the implementation of Traffitech Ghana project. The Traffitech is a digitalized form of policing where road traffic offenders are identified and found without physical contact with police officers. So how would this contribute to reducing road traffic crashes, particularly in the Upper West region? And our regional correspondent Swala Abdul-wahab is standing by to engage some officials of the National Road Authority on the issue. Good afternoon, Swala. Hello, Swala. Swala, what are the expectations of the people?
Well, just a few months ago, the Ghana Police Service, in collaboration with its partners, held a forum to engage stakeholders on the need to start implementing the Traffitech project. And as you indicated in your intro, the Traffitech project is a system where traffic offenses are tracked and the culprits punished without human interaction with the offenders. You know, when you use our streets, you see police officers and other officials of DVLA, road safety, on the roadside, checking for road offenses and also educating people. But when this Traffitech project begins, it will see a very minimal presence of police personnel on the road, because it is cameras and other gadgets that are going to be doing the work of the police. And one of the institutions that is working to reduce road crashes in the country is the National Road Safety Authority. And before I get to the officials of the authority to engage them on what they make of this project, statistics from the MTTD at the national level indicate that from January to the end of February this year, the country recorded 2,222 road crashes, and out of this number, over 2,500 people were injured and 300 people died out of these accidents. According to road safety authorities, many of these accidents are preventable, and yet they happened. So with the introduction of this Traffitech project, hopefully at the beginning of next year, what are the expectations of the National Road Safety Authority that has been working to reduce road crashes in the crash? We are going to engage the Regional Director of the National Road Safety Authority, Mr. Mohammed Abdul-Samad, to tell us what the authority thinks or what it makes of the project that is yet to be rolled out by the Ghana Police Service. Mr. Mohammed Abdul-Samad, thanks for your time on Real Time on GTV.
Thank you for having me.
So you were part of the stakeholder meeting that indicated the police intention to roll out the Traffitech project, hopefully from next year. What do you make of it in the first place?
Thank you very much for your question, and I would say a very good afternoon to your cherished listeners. Yes, I'm talking about Traffitech Ghana. It's actually long overdue. Well, all over the world, we see that countries are using it. So we think that it's a good thing that is coming, and it will help us a lot control traffic, and then to be able to actually identify culprits, people who take the laws into their own hands. Traffitech will expose them. And there are instances where you have the police present or traffic warden. Somebody, commits a crime on the road. You want to talk, it's like the word of the police against that individual. With the coming of Traffitech, I think those issues will be addressed. It is not the human being now who is going to arrest you, who is seeing you. You are already on record. Whatever machine you are using, the cameras will catch you, will capture you, your vehicle's registration number, and then you may even have your roadworthy sticker and all that to actually expose you, because sometimes people even drive vehicles with different vehicle, roadworthy stickers. And when this thing is checked, sometimes it's maybe somebody is driving a Benz car, and yet the sticker on it is for a saloon car, that is Toyota Corolla. So if you are even arrested for an offense, all these things will be checked and you'll be exposed the more. At that time, you will not say the police is telling lies. Is this that kind of error or argument will be eliminated. So Traffitech will actually catch you there and then, wherever it is, the time, your vehicle, what you were doing, everything will be captured. And then the evidence will be so overwhelming, there will be no way out for you, the offender.
So when the scene is captured, what happens?
What happens? Yes, people are controlling the system. We have control rooms and whatnot where they are actually monitoring what is happening. But then you will be charged, or you will be charged for the wrongdoing. Whatever traffic rule that you have broken, they have charges depending on the offense. So if, for example, in Upper West, we use motorbikes a lot. And then we have so many people who don't want to use the crash helmet. If, for example, you are arrested for not wearing crash helmet and riding a motorbike, you want to argue, the picture is there, your motorbike is there, you are in there. So you will be charged for that. That is the spot fine for you. Now, and the minimum of that is 25 penalty units upwards, up to 50. That's what somebody who does not ride with a crash helmet is supposed to be charged. And the penalty unit is 12 Ghana cedis. So you multiply it by 25 or 50 and see how much you are taking from this offender. Something that could have been used to buy 2 crash helmets or even more. Because of that, they are charging you because of your own negligence. You decided not to do the right thing. So that is just by way of example. So depending on the offense, if you jump red light, Traffitech machines will catch you. If you jump red light, they will catch you. And then the offense associated with that. It's a major traffic offense. If you're riding in a car, no seat belts, definitely you'll be caught by cameras on the road.
So I'm asking, when you are caught by cameras, what is the procedure for serving the offending?
Yeah, so you'll be given a notice of violations the rule, and then you're given a period of time to pay. So if that period elapses, anytime it elapses, it's more or less like there will be increment in percentage terms. Yes, so once there's increment, the longer you keep not paying, the more the addition will come. But you have a limited time. When that period elapses, they will no longer wait for you. You'll be taken on because your everything is there. You have no way to escape. Or your vehicle, the registration is there. Once the vehicle is duly registered, you can be traced and be arrested, taken to court for not actually paying heed to what was given to you to become a gentleman or a lady, come forward and then pay.
What about if you are not the owner driving the car?
If you are not the owner driving the car,
someone use your car to go and
somebody use your car, but the people who use your car. It's the vehicle that they caught with somebody using it. The day and time is there. Who was using it? You still have to pay the penalty. We've arrested the vehicle. Let me say, for example, use this analogy. There are instances, I remember when City News were doing this lawlessness, to check lawlessness on the street. There were instances parliamentarians, ministers were arrested. Who was driving the vehicle? They arrest the person driving the vehicle, not just the minister. If the minister thinks that he has power and then he comes to talk and everybody will see him on TV, that one is his own thing. But the person driving the car is the person they will arrest, and it's the vehicle they will use. So if they get the vehicle, who was driving it? That is the crux of the matter. So you bring the person forward. This is what you're supposed to pay for using this vehicle to violate traffic rules and regulations.
Yes. So this some observers say it's going to be possible in areas where you have your cameras mounted. What about in the remote areas?
Remote areas. Well, that's what we say. You know, we have mobile ones as well. When you look at what we're showing, we even have those ones like personal assistants and all those things. There are instances where the police, MTT, the officers and their mobile district can go to certain places to actually do what we call snap checks to ensure that people do the right thing. So you can't be sure where they will be at any point in time. That is how it is. Yes. And some people will talk about maybe electricity or the place is poorly lighted and whatnot. The machines are designed in such a way that even if it is so, they will still catch you.
Yeah. Yes. The statistics from the Motor Transport Department indicate that over 2,000 road crashes were recorded within 2 months this year, from January to the end of February. Why should that number be recorded? Is it not too huge?
Yeah, it's huge a number. Even one is not a good thing. Crashing in traffic is not a good thing in the first place, let alone to talk about huge numbers. So it's an understatement. It's too huge.
But some say there are accidents.
Yes, accidents, nobody can do away with it. It's the Almighty God that can save you if you really believe in God. But then most of these cases, they are not just accidents. They are crashes, self-inflicted, because people will not do the right thing. We take the laws into our own hands.
How?
You go out there, you are not supposed to be using a mobile phone while riding a motorbike or driving a car. And yet that is what we are doing. And the moment you start doing something like that, your attention is taken off the driving task. Before you realize, even take a mobile phone and thinking that you can walk. You see instances where people fall in gutters, people fall upstairs because they were concentration on the mobile phone. So why do you think that you can drive whilst using the phone? It takes your attention away, what we call inattentiveness. Others, some people are sheer indiscipline. Somebody who is supposed to know better. You see the person, somebody will think that is learned. The person is taking what we call one way. Instead of doing the right thing, the person is joining a major road from a minor road. It doesn't do the drill where you have to look left, look right, and left again. If there's no oncoming traffic, then you join the major road. Some people will come, they don't waste time for that. They feel that it's waste of time. They just come, they join the major road. In the process, where somebody who has the right of way to move, and if that person is not very careful and not defensive, the person runs into you. Then it becomes a problem. Things like this are happening. There are instances you see parents, they carry little kids on the laps. How can you do that and be driving at the same time? It's not possible. You think you love the child, you are rather trying to kill your own child. Instances like that happens. There are instances where you even take high occupancy buses, commercial ones. Somebody sits in because the person is already somebody who is used to the transport operator, the driver, and then whatnot. The person comes, they make sure that they get a seat that is just close to the driver for that person. And in most cases, such people come to sit down, they engage the driver in talking. The driver is supposed to be professional, to know that what this guy is trying to do with me, I cannot be conversing with him at the same time driving. And yet drivers will know this. They won't do that. They rather converse with the person before you realize something happens. And then again, passengers who are in the vehicle, they are supposed to know better. Try to correct the person. That's why we always do what we call passenger empowerment. We let them know the do's and don'ts. When you are a passenger, you have to be on the lookout. Watch out what the driver is doing. Particular, if you see that driver wants to use a phone while driving you, no, Papa driver, in a nice way. We are not saying you should quarrel with the person. Tell him, if you want to talk, maybe park up the road, do your call, and then we go. Other than that, we can't be doing this and driving us. But then we want passengers to be united. There are instances where you will see a particular passenger complain about driver misbehavior, and then lo and behold, you will see his own colleague passengers in the vehicle. Hey, my friend, you know Ghanaian language. That you are too no. You, my friend, we want to get to the place early. Driver, speed up. We are getting late. Why should it be so? So overspeeding is one of the things that cause all these things. You have an area you know that is 50 kilometers per hour, and you want to be doing 90 kilometers. You have a town that is congested. And we know when it is like that, schools, markets, hospitals, and whatnot in that area, 30 kilometers. But you see somebody trying to run as if he wants to fly out of the town that he's in. And then why do you think that something will not happen? So all these things, because we will not obey road traffic rules and regulations. That's how come the figures are like that. A lot of them, if we check, driver behavior, inattentiveness, use of mobile phone, so many other things.
So, Mr. Samad, how will the implementation of this Traffitech improve on the work of the National Road Safety Authority?
Yes, of course, we work with the police, MTTD. We talk about the 4 E's, where we talk about engineering and emergency response. When you look at all these things, there are departments that are in charge of them. Definitely, this thing will be manned and taken care of by the police, MTTD. And then we know the work that they do. If you go out now, you see them all over the place. It will reduce the presence of the police on the road. Then aside that, you realize that the kind of things that we do, keep talking to people and they are not going by it, will help us, because these things, when you are caught, the evidence is clear. And then again, it will help us. Because there are certain times as I sit here, I'm in Wa here, and I was born and bred here. I'm an indigenous, member of Wa, for that matter, in Upper West. I have so many relatives. I think this term we use in Wa, tigyaa, bunyini, that we are all one. So we are all one. So something happens to us, like almost everybody is affected. So because of that, sometimes we use it negatively, in the sense that sitting in this office, I work with the police. Somebody is arrested for something. Then the person calls me to come and interfere with the police work. You see that Traffitech will reduce interference. But the person will tell you, it's the machines. There's nothing I can do. No, I don't do it. Sometimes there are instances, people will be on, it's this person, that kind of thing. So they will even help to escape that thing. You see, the police are no longer even catching you themselves. It's the machines. They can change it. So whatever it is, go and do the right thing. So this will force a lot of people who take things for granted because they think that they know influential people who will interfere with the police work now to sit up and do the right thing. You go to the politician, he tells you, now the way the police this thing is machine, so it's not the police himself. So we cannot. They have you on record. Nobody can take it away until you pay your fine.
Mr. You alluded earlier to the fact that majority of the people in Upper West here use motorbike.
Yes.
So every morning you see people pick their children, 2, 3 children. Is that one going to be affected?
Of course, it's going to be what you're supposed to take not more than 2 people on a motorbike. Motorcycles. But when you say motorcycles, we have even a motorcycle that is 4-legged, we call quadro. Then you have the tricycle. But the bike is not supposed to take more than 2 people, the rider and the pillion rider. And both of them are supposed to put on crash helmet. So when we do this, it's actually against the law. You can be taken for that. You can be charged for carrying more than 1 person on the same, more than 2 people on the same motorbike. So
if they are children.
If they are children, they are human beings. A life is a life. It does not matter the age of the life. They will become tomorrow's elders. You don't know who will become your next president, who will become your next engineer, your next reporter or road safety officer, and that kind of thing, or teacher.
So apart from the elimination of human contact, which mostly breeds interference, what other advantages will the implementation of this Traffitech bring in reducing road crashes?
Yes, so when it comes, there are certain things that we normally take for granted. As I said, I may not know about some other colleagues somewhere. We have a lot of things to learn. People will have to train to be able to take care of these machines and whatnot. There will be workshops and whatnot, so they will improve their capacity to do the work that we're doing. Then again, you realize that workers at National Road Safety Authority, together with their stakeholders, they will have some kind of rest. Instead of always standing in the hot sun and whatnot, they will have the comfort of sitting behind and watching things working seriously, even more effectively than when they were to be standing in the sun, by using these systems to work with. The evidence comes, they are sitting in the control room and whatnot. All those things will be done easily. Yes, when you are able to synchronize and all these things are working, you may not need to get up and go to a place again. All you need to do is just tap and up, send whatever information you have, and then it will make our communication effective and whatnot, as I said.
Now, this figure that came from the Motor and Traffic Department of the Ghana Police Service definitely would have included some people from the Upper West region here. Let's look at the statistics on road crashes in the region. What has your office recorded?
Thank you very much. Talking about that, normally we take our time to do this on quarterly basis. So for now, we have already passed the third quarter. So what we have now on record is from January to September. So October, November, December are not included. So I can speak to that one.
So give us the...
Yeah, so when you look at it, 2023, sometimes we try to see and compare with even the previous year to see whether we are doing something good or not. But I can confidently say what we're doing here, a lot of things have happened. Yes, I wasn't here, but I have come. So you have to take responsibilities. You have to, liabilities and everything is supposed to be in my hands. So the figures I have for this year, the 9 months that we're talking about, by the end of the third quarter, that is September, we have 180 cases recorded. 180 cases recorded.
When you say 180 cases, what do you mean? You mean crashes?
Crashes, yes. They were the crashes that we know, the ones that we have information, the police MTT did have information about and they are recorded. Yes, and then we also have the injuries. There were 149 injuries happening during that period. And then the people who died on the road during that period was 30 people died in these cases. Now, we normally term these three as what CIDs, crashes, injuries, and deaths. So that is the CIDs I've just mentioned to you. The crashes, that's 180, the injuries, 149, then the deaths, 30. Then if you look at pedestrian knockdown, 12 cases were recorded. 12 pedestrians were knocked down. Then we look at the vehicles involved. There were 166 in the Upper West regions. This is what we have so far in the Upper West, what happened in the first 9 months.
So how will you describe these figures that you have given?
Yeah, describing these figures, I feel that, there are too many. Why? Because we supposed to be doing a lot, and then you can see that our police officers are everywhere. You go onto the road and see, trying to make sure that people do the right thing. But because of our own carelessness, for example, somebody dies because of a traffic crash, and only for you to find out that the person didn't die because of anything, not actually an accident, because of the person's own carelessness. One, the person was riding the motorbike without wearing a crash helmet. Two, that person decided to pass a place that is considered as one way. Instead of going in a lane that is supposed to be, he goes to the opposing lane and he starts moving.
Is your office not supposed to be educating?
So we're educating people. We try, and that's what I was telling you earlier. Some people is just sheer indiscipline. It's not because of lack of knowledge. We try as much. We know some people do these things because of ignorance, but others is not ignorant. They just take it that yes, I can do anything. There are instances. I remember there was an instance when I was here before I left and then came back, where a renowned person who preaches and people respect him, riding without a crash helmet. We're doing this government, flagship program. We had to bring people to train them to do this work for us. And the guy was against them, told them, nobody can arrest me, nobody can arrest me. Okay, I said, all right, fine, we'll see. You do that. Let us see and we'll have the evidence. Then they will have to sack some of us or transfer some of us from our offices. We will let them arrest you. But it didn't happen again. Yes, so you can imagine that somebody who should be preaching and be helping us was doing this. So how do you call that? These are some of the cases. And then me, where I'm coming from, in Upper West, considered the bunyini thing I mentioned earlier. I'm more or less related to almost every family in Upper West, more or less to some extent, because of the father and mother I have. So I have, like when I go to where my mother comes from, there, our tradition. Your father's brother is your father. Your grandmother's brother, even if you are older than him, what we normally say, you return from the farm to meet your father or your mother born. But it's your father, it's your mother. So I have a lot of them called grandfathers and grandmothers at my mother's side, where we call Lemairu or Jejere.
But what they do, they are your playmates. Let me interrupt you. You are an officer working in an organization. Why won't you push all this bunyini aside and stamp your feet on the ground?
That is why some people call me a bad man. You understand? You see somebody crossing the J.J. Rawlings High Street with a motorbike, and it happens to be your grandfather's brother or your grandmother's brother. Then you know the term they use. Abuchi, that your talking is good. That their ears are hard. We talk, we say nice things, we educate them well, but their ears are hard. So then you have to make them soft. Now, this same person, if it happens that he falls into the hands of the law enforcement, the person is calling you. Then you say you cannot come there because the law will have to deal with you. That's how come your brother sitting here is seen as what? A bad man. People who praise you for going on radio yourself, for going to stand on the street yourself with people instead of sitting in the office. You don't do that. Others who appreciate what you are doing, they say, oh, the guy is good, he's doing well, he's sacrificing. But those who, somebody will say it in front of you today, and the same person goes against the rules. So now this person is arrested. He's calling you, say you will not go. Let the police do their work. Now you are a bad man. Then I'm not afraid of that.
So when the Traffitech begins to function, and your wife is arrested.
My wife is arrested.
Yes.
You are even asking me a question as if you didn't know. When I was in Tamale, my wife's vehicle crashed. Actually, it was a policeman who crashed from behind because he was on top speed. I didn't go to the police station. When I heard it quickly, I called somebody to go to the accident scene. They went there, took pictures, and I have everything with me. You ask them, I've just come. They only heard it later, that was my wife. But when I saw the distance, I know the evidence proved that my wife didn't do anything wrong. So I kept quiet. They did their own thing, as we will have it. The person who actually ran into her tried to prove that he was right. But the evidence proved otherwise.
So now, what the point of my question was, if your son, if your wife, if your father commits road traffic offense.
I don't have a father.
What happens? Can you go and stop him? Can you go and stop the police, or the system will deal with the person?
I want to allow the systems to work. I have been to Rwanda. I saw what happened there. And one of the questions we asked the police, the traffic police was, can somebody, like a minister, call you when you arrest somebody for traffic offense and say, oh, this is minister's daughter or son? They say, no, they don't do that here. If a minister calls, they will ask him to put it into writing. Now, if that minister does that, it's like he's reporting that he doesn't want to be a minister again. So the law will deal with the person. Because of that, people don't interfere with that work. It's just not easy, but we're trying our best to do whatever it is. We're in the country, we should do the right things and then people will emulate. If I'm here, I'm interfering with the police work, then who will do it? Well, there are instances I also criticize them. Those I worked with in the past, they know. Yes, so they know when Mr. Samad is coming here, it's something really serious and something that we all enjoy working with. You don't come there to overburden them with already the complaints. There are people, when you talk, they will tell you, people who send them.
Yeah, so what will you tell the people of Upper West regarding the commencement of the Traffitech?
Yeah, so we already started educating people, telling them what will happen, hopefully come next year. And when it comes, you will not see this police the way you see them every day at your traffic lights and then whatnot. But machines will be there. Some of you are already seeing them on the streets and whatnot. That's why if you are going to the airport, coming from Wasek and all that, you see them. So those things will start working. So if you do anything wrong, thinking that you can get away with it, sometimes some of you will be, I didn't jump the traffic light, the red light, and the policeman is saying so, and it's like you're word against the police. Now you can no longer do that. So the better you do the right thing, it is better for you. If you make a mistake and anything happens, Uncle Samad, grandson Samad will not be there. Or somebody will not say, because you mentioned my name, say, let's be lenient to the person. You see, now it's not me. Director himself knows the system. So I will tell people, this is what is going to be happening, and we have already started doing that. The machines will catch you, not the human being. It's cameras that are catching you. Once they pick you up, you are captured. There is no way we can interfere. I will not even interfere in the first place, but don't interfere. They will show the listen to them. Whichever it is, any influential person or opinion leader who thinks that he can take the laws into his own hand, it will not work.
Okay.
I know I can use my former station as an example.
We've been listening to Mr. Mohammed Abdul Samad, He is the Upper West Regional Director of the National Road Safety Authority. He is saying that when the implementation of the Traffitech begins, hopefully next year, it is going to give a lot of impetus to the work of the National Road Safety Authority, because the usual interference that they experience in the course of their operations will be eliminated. But then the authority will continue to educate the public at the schools, at the mosque, at the lorry stations, and all other places that they have been doing to ensure that preventable accidents or crashes do not occur in the Upper West region. Back to you if you have a question for the in the studio.
Swala, for shedding more light on this transformative project by the Ghana Police Service. This is where we would draw the curtains on today's edition. My name is Miela Korte. Have a good afternoon.